So good morning everybody, myself Acharya Vishwan. Today I'm going to discuss a worksheet on cells. So here is a cell of EMFE, internal resistance R. It is connected to an external resistance R. So the first question is R equivalent of the circuit. So both are in series, so R equivalent will be R plus R. Current in the circuit, so current will be voltage by R equivalent. So that will be E divided by small r plus capital R. Next is terminal voltage. So terminal voltage is voltage across R, which is I into capital R, which is E into small r plus capital R into R. Next is voltage dissipation across internal resistance. So we can say that voltage across small r will be I into small r, which will be E upon R plus R into small r. Next is voltage dissipation across external resistance, VR, as we have already calculated. This is ER upon R plus R. So these are the mathematical values of these functions. Next is power dissipation across external resistors. So that will be I square into R. I here is E by R plus R whole square into R. So that will be power dissipated. Next is I versus R graph. So we can say that I is equals to E upon R plus R. So I is equals to E upon R plus R. So we can say that at R is equal to 0, I is equals to E by R, and as R tends to infinity, I will tend to 0. So graph will be a part of rectangular hyperbola like this. Similarly, if you draw the graph between I and capital R, same graph will be there, it will be like this, and here this point will correspond to E by capital R, and here this point will correspond to E by small r. Next is voltage across R as a function of R. So we have seen that voltage across R is ER by R plus R. So we can say that if R is equal to 0, VR is 0, and if R tends to infinity, VR will tends to E. So it will be a graph like this, and here this value will be. Next is VR versus small r. So we can say that VR is E capital R by small r plus R. So we can say that as R tends to infinity, VR tends to 0, and at R is equal to 0, VR will be E. So it will be a part of rectangular hyperbola like this, and this value will be E by R. Similarly, it's being given that power as a function of capital R. So power as a function of capital R, we can see that power is E square R divided by R plus R whole square. So if R is 0, power will be 0, and it will be maximum at R is equals to small r. So the graph will be like this. And it is maximum for small r is equals to capital R. So that is analysis for this graph. Then we have another numerical based question. We have a cell of EMF 6 volt, internal resistance 2 ohm, external resistance is 10 ohm. We need to find R equivalent. So both are in series, so we can say that R equivalent will be 2 plus 10, which is 12 ohm. I will be 6 by 12, 1 by 2 ampere. Terminal voltage will be I into capital R. So that will be 1 by 2 into 10, which will be 5 volt. And power across 10 ohm will be I square R. So I is 1 by 2 whole square. Resistance is 10, so that is 10 by 4, which is your 2.5 volt. So these are the results related to this. So this is a part of optimal physics worksheet, and the purpose behind optimal physics is to optimize your time and energy so that you can undergo optimal performance by working in a mediocre way, neither too much stress nor too much syllabus. You just study according to you, but you just prepare the basic mind brain algorithm to crack the competitive exams. So you must remember JEE and NEET are based on psychologically designed mental patterns, and if you learn those patterns, only then you can crack with an optimal result. Otherwise, you will just struggle with thoughts, emotions, energy, thinking this and that, explanations, but will not be able to give the answers in a timely bounded manner. So if you want to achieve, to optimize your result, you want to achieve or to crack competitive exams without being much stressed, then just develop the basic algorithm needed to crack a question, needed to crack a problem. That's why optimal worksheets are of optimal use to you, because here we have developed questions on very small subtopics of a particular question. We have used manipulation based questions so that your mind brain system, or you can say that your nerve cells, there is a chance of improving them, making a better neural connection, and you are at a better edge than other students, and you can learn better, you can perform better, and you can optimize your performance. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you and have a nice day.